Hi, and welcome to It's Not That Bad, optimistic movie reviews for optimistic people. That's Chad Ekowitz.
And that's Simone LaRue.
Hi.
And we're back in your ear holes once
We sure
again.
are.
Just nestling all up in there, getting all comfy.
All cozy.
Yeah, feel us. Which ear are you? Are you left ear or right ear? Which do you prefer?
Ooh, I want to say left ear, but I don't know why.
You seem like a left ear person.
Thanks.
Don't think that's a thing.
And you? What ear?
Well, I've got to be right ear.
Okay, I mean, we could be occupying different
you're
people's
left ear,
ears. We can split up the load.
That's true. Okay,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I still think I'm a right ear kind of person. It just feels like
It just feels
that would be
right.
my ear of choice.
Mm.
Yeah. So we're great podcasters,
We're
as you
off
can
to
tell.
an amazing start. We
As always.
are two job-hunting millennials who are going to
Yeah.
tell you about movies that everybody hated, but we're going to say, you know what? Is it that bad? Probably not.
Exactly. In such dark and dreary times as the ones we are living in,
Oh, man.
and as two job-hunting millennials who shows that our prospects, aren't that great, who is better in this world to tell you what is good and what is not?
We are the taste makers of a generation.
Exactly. People turn to us, they say to us both, they go, Simone, Chad, what should I wear today? And we're both like, bikinis and tank tops, always.
Live your best life, move to the Caribbean.
Shall we?
Oh my
Shall
god.
we just do it?
I kind of want to, yeah.
We could do a fire festival type of thing.
I had to, while applying for a job today, I had to say, it was for a travel agency, so I had to say which, of their destinations I'd most like to go to. And everything in my soul said, I just want to be on a beach somewhere where it's warm, and I've got a drink in one hand, and I don't have to worry about things for a bit.
Yeah, that is the dream. It's not even like I don't want to work. I love working.
Yeah. No,
but
of course.
I just want to be in a position where I don't have to work.
I just want to not be
Like-
tired all the time, you know?
Yeah, for reals. Guys, we're trying not to depress you,
Yeah.
and
This is
we're
a
hope
bit
we're
of a
not
bummer.
bringing you down. We're gonna pick it up. I
Yeah,
promise you,
we're
we're gonna
back.
pick it up. We're gonna pick
Chad,
it up.
what movie are we going to tell people about today?
From my side of things, I'm gonna do 1,000 Words, the quintessential Eddie Murphy movie from this decade. How about you, Simone? What are you hitting? That no one has heard of.
I'm going to do the not controversial Fantastic Four movie from 2015 that everyone loved.
I mean, in opposite land, or
The reviews, even IMDb tends to be really generous with reviews.
uh-huh.
No, not so.
It is truly awful. And I was gonna say, is it not controversial because everyone hated it equally? Like no one really
It
brought
was one
up
of the
that
few
controversy.
things the internet could agree on.
Oh man. Well, in order to decide who gets to go first, shall we begin with our first segment, which is what are you drinking, Simone?
I am taking it easy because last week, just those weeks where you're catching up with friends, you've backed up all your social appointments and now you're just
Mm-hmm.
so I drank a lot of wine last week. I day drank on Saturday, so now
You champion.
I'm just taking a step back. I'm saying, liver, I see you, and I want you to be well. So I'm drinking a very wholesome hot chocolate.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
nice. Just getting all snug in a bug.
Mm.
As a rug. And all that.
Getting ready for hibernation.
Yeah, getting into winter over there in sunny South Africa, you're gonna need it.
I'm so sad already.
I know. But it's gonna be okay because the sun will rise again.
Theoretically.
Who knows? Well, I am drinking a delightful mojito mix
Ooh.
that I got from Aldi's, one of those frozen mojito mixes,
Those are always delicious.
and full of sugar. so that's good. So I'll just be buzzing in
Nice.
a couple seconds.
Cool. Same.
Yeah, super excited. So I guess I get to go first because mine is 4% to your 0%.
Yeah. Easy
Right.
competition this week.
Exactly. It's been good. I'm feeling ready for this.
Okay. Tell me about
Here we
1,000
go.
words.
I'm so ready for this. I've left a lot out because none of it matters.
Okay. Yeah, true.
So I've really just hit the main points that you need to know. Okay, so here we go. Jack McCall, played by Eddie Murphy, is a high-powered literary publicist.
Agent.
He has the gift of... Oh, is he an agent?
Yeah.
I thought he was a publicist.
No, he's an agent.
Oh, okay. Well, that's going to change a few words of my plot synopsis then. He's a high-powered literary agent. He has the gift of the gab, able to convince anyone to do anything with his words. Because of his position, he doesn't have a lot of time for anything or anyone, including his wife, Caroline, played by Kerry Washington, and their son. Jack also has a complicated relationship with his parents. His mother, played by Ruby Dee, has dementia and does not recognize Jack, and all Jack wants to do is show her how much of a success he is. Jack never knew his father because the dude up and left when Jack was a child. Jack is now looking to score the book deal of the century. The prolific and highly sought-after holistic spiritual healer known as Dr. Sinja is looking to publish his book. Jack knows that this will be incredibly profitable for his agency, but Dr. Sinja doesn't want to work with any publicists. Jack goes to see Dr. Sinja to try and convince him to sign with his agency. While there, Jack gets cut by a tree. He and Dr. Sinja talk for a bit, and eventually Dr. Sinja agrees to use his agency. Wahey. The next day, Jack wakes up to find that there is a tree in his back garden. Mm-hmm. It was the same tree from Dr. Sinja's retreat, the one that Jack cut himself on. Jack leaves for work, but it seems like every time he speaks, he gets sicker. Eventually, he calls Dr. Sinja to come around and look at the tree. Dr. Sinja realizes that every time Jack speaks, a leaf falls off the tree. 1 word is equal to 1 leaf. When the tree runs out of leaves, Jack will die. After a whole day of talking, it looks like Jack only has 1,000 words left, hence the title of the movie. Now you get it. Very complicated.
Brilliant.
Hijinks ensues. Jack doesn't know what to do because he can't speak, and he basically makes his living off of speaking, and it basically costs him his marriage, and at one point he tries to kill himself when he has basically 8 words left. In his final moments, he goes round to see his mum and tells her that she loves him. He visits his wife and tells her that he loves her. He then visits his dad's graves and says his last words. He then, supposedly, dies, and goes into a dream world where he is talking to his younger self. Jack learns an important lesson, and the tree comes back to life, and so does Jack. He makes some serious life changes, and all is well. The end. Hi. How lovely. So, 1,000 words.
Oh, man.
Initial thoughts.
So, ignoring the premise that, like, your life can somehow be tied to a tree's, the line, well, what does a tree do when it loses all it leaves, it dies, is incorrect. Because that's what trees do in winter. And they're fine, you guys.
Yeah, like, it's a nonsensical premise.
Yeah, I was like, does this guy not understand how trees work?
Yeah. I also love that Dr. Sinja disappears for a lot of the film. Like, yes. I feel like if
Gandalf in The Hobbit.
Yeah, but like a less cool Gandalf.
Much less.
Because I feel like if you were a holistic healer, and you found this guy whose life is inexplicably connected to a tree, you're going to kind of focus on that.
Well, you can't miss out on retreats. Bookings have been made. A lot of people put their heart and souls into it, and you can't just break for a physiological impossible phenomenon. I
mean, you would know better than I, so I completely understand.
As you know, I go on many spiritual retreats. That's just who I am.
It's true. You have so many wise life lessons. Give us a Simone Wise life lesson now.
Oh.
Just a 1-sentence Simone Wise life lesson.
Putting me on the spot. If a tree appears in your backyard and it seems to be linked to your health, maybe don't talk to a holistic healer about it.
Who would you go to? So, okay, fine. So you wake up in the morning,
I wouldn't believe that it was going to kill me because I know how trees work. So I'd have probably just died because I've been like, well, this is fucking weird but kind of dumb. Stupid metaphor, tree. Try again. I
think my favorite bit of this film was the bit where the gardener tries to poison the plant, and all it does to Eddie Murphy is get him a little high. That's not how poisons work.
Isn't it pesticide?
That's not how anything works.
That he's spraying it with, or is he actually trying to kill it?
Even so, even if it is pesticides, it still would not make Eddie Murphy high. Yeah. It would probably kill him.
High scenes are so funny, though. We're still doing that comedy, apparently.
It's, men dressed as women, high scenes, and blackface are the trifecta of comedy.
Yeah.
One day we'll grow out of them and we'll all be worse for wear. So, what did you actually enjoy about this film?
Look, I think the overall message, which is that, like, you can't just assume that the people you love know that you love them. Like, you know, actions speak louder than words. So, like, you know, you need to address any relationships that feel closed off in your life and all that stuff. Like, I think that's a good message. And I think that the last 10 minutes of the movie were pretty emotional and interesting. Yeah. Kerry Washington was... Oh, can I say... with how he deals with his wife, Kerry Washington. For, like, I just truly don't understand this movie, because she's like, you know, he's been really distant and closed off and he doesn't want to talk about our child. You know what the problem is? Me? I'm not being fun enough.
Right?
And it's like, girl, no.
This film was clearly written by a man, because then, like, she goes and she speaks to her friend, her work colleague, and the work colleague's like, straight out, is just like... You guys having enough sex? Is that the problem? You should probably be sexier.
And she's like, maybe I'll be sexier if I'm not stressed constantly.
Yeah, and my husband, you know, did something for a change. Oh, that was upsetting. Like, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? It works for both people. If your significant other is gaslighting you, if they're not treating you right, it's not your fault. That's their problem. Like... For reals. Don't try and improve yourself, because it will never be enough for those type of people.
I mean, obviously try to improve yourself, but, like, not...
For you?
Yeah. Be the best version of you. Don't be their best version of you.
Yeah, because it will never be enough, because once you change for them in one way, they'll ask for you to change more.
Exactly. And once you do weird, crazy shit in bed, there's no taking that back.
Yeah.
Dish that out wisely.
Yeah. Especially as you saw in the 50 Shades movies.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm still
we'll always return to that. Yeah, it's sad, but we've done it, and it's over.
What did you like?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the last 10-15 minutes of it. I thought it was really, really emotional. I thought the stuff with his mum was super cute. Oh man, that last visit with the mum, absolutely heartbreaking.
Beautiful.
Really, really good.
Good performance.
Very, very good performance. I like to see Eddie Murphy in a bit of a more serious role. You know, I think, you know, he was such a great actor before Shrek, and then he just, from Shrek, he kind of became such a typecast character of, like, the fast talking funny black guy. Yeah. And that's such a shame, because he's so much more than that.
Exactly. I was actually gonna say, like, this movie, much like the movie Click, like, it's a comedy, but it's actually a drama. Yeah. And I just wish they hadn't bothered with a lot of the comedy.
Yeah, definitely. Because it did fall short a lot of the time.
And honestly, it drew the movie out so much. Like, it felt painfully long.
Yeah. But it wasn't actually that long, I don't think. No, it was only like an hour and a half.
But I was just like, oh my god, I get it. He can't talk. How many scenarios are you going to make me watch?
Yeah, it was sort of very much like that kind of skit comedy where he did that, like where he had to do all the different deals and shit. It's just like, okay,
it was funny once, maybe twice.
Yeah. Although that being said, I did absolutely adore the Starbucks barista.
Oh yes,
that was delightful. And so lovely, and I love him. I'm looking for his name right now, but sweet. I can't find it. But he's the best.
Kevin?
Yeah, Kenneth. Oh, Jack McBrayer.
Jack McBrayer. Sorry, he plays Kenneth in 30 Rock.
Exactly, and that's why I love him, because he's just so wonderful. He's also Fix-It Freddy from Wreck-It Ralph, or whatever his name is.
We don't deserve him.
Make It Better Mike. We don't deserve him. Let's not get into another 30 Rock appreciation.
We can't keep doing
we don't
it
have
to our
time for him. Like, do you know how few people have actually watched 30 Rock? It breaks my heart.
Yeah, upsettingly few, yes.
Yeah, we're an elite bunch of people. Guys, really? Go watch 30 Rock, seriously. One of the best shows ever. Like, without fail. Okay, well, I mean, there's not really much more to say on this film, really. I mean, is there?
Not that I can think of.
I mean, if you had 1,000 words left, what would you do?
Ooh, oh yeah, because you can't write either, right?
No, you can't write, you can't sign.
I don't know.
And you are of the opinion that you would die at the end of 1,000 words. because we don't know how trees work.
I don't know. I have a podcast. Like, I'm really chatty.
Yeah, it would be problematic. Like, I think I would just tell the people that I love them.
Yeah, just really get my feelings out there. Like, I guess I'm not long for this world one way or another, so...
Yeah, I mean, I think a loophole would be if you wrote down, hey, please excuse me, I can't talk, I have a magical tree in the back garden, I know how crazy that sounds, I've only got 1,000 words left, by the end of this statement I'll probably have less, so please excuse me for not talking, and then wore it like a sign around your neck, would that only count as the, 50 to 60 words?
Still, then you're getting, no real meaningful interaction with your loved ones.
Yeah, I don't know, it's a tough one.
It would not last long, I'd be dead in, a day.
Oh, easily. I mean, we speak more than 1,000 words in this podcast alone, and that's only an hour.
Yeah.
We would be screwed. But that's fine, because,
Yeah.
Life and words. At least all of our words are meaningful, Simone. Every single one of them.
Even all the ones we have spent talking about Michael Sheen.
Especially all the words spoken about Michael Sheen. I just want him to know. He will know. One day, we'll get the message through to him.
Oh,
we'll tag
Michael.
him. We'll tag him. We'll just be like, Simone is in love with you and your hilarity. You're perfect. Okay, well, let's move on then. Yeah. Tell me, what is your scene that could have saved it?
Oh boy.
Of the innumerous.
I would have liked to see, because he resolves things with his wife by basically trying to make it clear that she's important to him and the baby's important to him. And, he does that, with, his few words, and then also, telling her that he bought this house. But, it would have also been nice for him to maybe apologize a little more once he got all his words back, just to be like, hey, listen, I appreciate you and everything you're doing. I've been the asshole here. But maybe that was one of those things that, you can communicate without words.
But Simone, he is a man, and men are never wrong. You need to be sexier.
That's true. It's all on her, really.
Duh. It was her fault. I mean, if she wasn't a woman, she wouldn't have gotten pregnant.
Ugh. Women with their uteruses.
It's not uteri, it's uterus.
I hate it.
Okay.
God, what's your scene that could have saved it?
For me, I would have really liked the lesson at the end to be a bit more coherent.
Okay.
I get that the overall message is actions speak louder than words, but I feel like his whole deal was that he wanted to be a better dad, or to not become like his father, and I feel like that was his sort of life lesson, and it was just kind of very vague.
Yeah.
And I would have liked a bit more sort of concrete of a lesson at the end there.
Yeah. No, I get that. It was a little weirdly vague at times.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of what I was feeling with that one. So, but yeah, I mean, overall, the worst Eddie Murphy film I've ever seen, but, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
I think it's a great, family movie night movie, if you all want to get together. Although no, because then there's a scene where the dude talks about having sex in the office dressed as furries, and Kerry Washington's in a dominatrix outfit. But it is, other than that, pretty PG.
Yeah, I think those are the only two moments, and then just, fast forward or get the kids to go get more
talk
popcorn.
To your kids. Or ignore their questions, one or the other.
Is that the kind of parent you want to be one day, is just incredibly stoic and distant?
I mean, no. But I want to give other people options.
That's fair.
Also,
that's fair.
I guess you don't want your kid to know about furries early in life. I feel like that's confusing. Not to kink shame.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, because, I mean, let's just take a pure example from this podcast, and say that if Anna from 50 Shades of Grey. Mm-hmm. Is that her name? Anna?
Yeah.
Was it Anna? Yeah, okay. I remembered something.
Yeah.
Take Anna from 50 Shades. If her parents had been a little bit more open with her about things
True.
And been like, oh, well, they're furries, and what she's doing is dominatrix.
Yeah.
She could have been like, oh, well, that's cool, and not been, maybe not have been sort of
True.
Forced through awkwardness into a very horrible relationship with a billionaire.
Talk to your kids about BDSM.
Do it.
or someone else will.
That's a great life message there, Simone.
Thanks.
Talk to your kids about BDSM or someone else will. I like it.
I'm not proud of that. Please don't. Please nobody say that.
New tattoo idea!
Tell me about this director.
I will. Okay, so you're looking at a gentleman named Brian Robbins. So, this guy has directed such episodes of shows such as Blue Mountain State.
Oh, fun.
Norbit. I know. Like, can you think of a more PC and, friendly show than Blue Mountain State?
That's just so problematic, but it makes me laugh so hard.
Right? Like, I hate all of it, but I also love all of it.
I've also cried laughing. It's a really well-written show, surprisingly.
Yeah, for the content. So, he directed Pocket Pussy, and it's called Hazing, look it up.
Both of those episodes were fucking hysterical.
I know. They're so good. Which just makes me really mad, because they are horrible. Like, if you haven't seen it, and we're endorsing things called Pocket Pussy, and it's called Hazing, look it up.
Puts the catheter in.
Yeah, it's
An
called
oil
Hazing,
change.
I think it's also, an oil change. Oh! I think, it's called Hazing also the ones where they stick Oreos up their butt and have to run?
Yeah. Oh, is that the same one?
I think it might be.
Oh my god.
I'm not sure. I might have to go rewatch all of Blue Mountain State
Apparently
now.
it's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
We are still waiting for our sponsorship.
Yeah, come on, guys. IMDb and Netflix. You guys.
We love you.
Catch up. He also did episodes of Kenan and Kel.
Okay.
Cousin Skeeter, Ready to Rumble, Hardball, The Nightmare Room, Close to Home, Birds of Prey, The Perfect Score, The Shaggy Dog, Norbit, Meet Dave, which is another terrible Eddie Murphy film where he is a robot controlled by many, many small Eddie Murphys. It's not good. So yeah, he's done quite a bit there. You know what? I don't think that he's a bad director. There were some really touching moments in this, and it was really, hard to get those touching moments, like, through when your whole essence is just this horrible comedy.
Yeah.
So to get the best from your actors like he has is really nice.
True. Look, I think it was a tough movie and a tough concept. And there was one or two very enjoyable moments.
Yeah, exactly. Surprisingly towards the end.
Yeah. But man, you had to wait for it.
Oh, there was a very minimal payout for what you had to wait for.
Yeah.
So, that is 1,000 words, and we never have to speak of it again.
I'm so excited.
And now, shall we do Fantastic Four?
Boy,
so
let's do
exciting.
It. Okay.
I'm so ready.
Let me tell you about Fantastic Four.
Do it.
Our story basically begins when Richard Reed, played by Miles Teller, is recruited to an ultra-secret research program by Dr. Franklin Storm, played by Reg E. Cathey, where he and other researchers are working on a way to travel safely to and return from an alternate dimension. Or a different dimension, I suppose, not alternate. The other research team members are Franklin's daughter, Susan Storm, his son, Susan Storm, played by Kate Mara, his son, Johnny Storm, played by Michael B. Jordan, and Victor Von Doom, played by Toby Kebbell. Once they successfully transport a chimp to and from the other dimension, it is suggested that the team begin collaborating on this project with NASA. Not wanting to let NASA steal their glory, Richard calls his best friend Ben Grimm, played by Jamie Bell, and together with Victor and Johnny, they head to the other dimension without permission. Disaster strikes! Victor falls back into the primordial ooze covering the alien planet and is lost, while the others suffer horrible injuries, including Sue, who is hit with the blast as they return from the alternate dimension. Ben Grimm is now a thing made of rocks and is ultra strong, while Sue is the invisible woman and she can also fly and is telekinetic, and Johnny is the Human Torch. Richard is also really stretchy, and he escapes the clutches of the military experimenting on his friends. Cut to, a year later, where the gang finally tracks Richard down. They have all been working with the military to control their powers, and Ben has been going on covert missions for them. Richard was caught just in time as they were about to travel into the other dimension, now dubbed Planet Zero, again for research purposes. While researchers are there, they discover a very much alive Victor Von Doom. His hazmat suit fused to his body while he was there, but the planet sustained him. Upon hearing that Earth wants to use Planet Zero for research, Victor gets mad and goes on a killing spree, then opens an interdimensional hole that begins sucking the Earth into Planet Zero. The gang has to work together to defeat him, which they do. Now heroes, they tell the military that they intend to keep their research independent and move to Central City where they can be the Fantastic Four in peace. The end.
So, my biggest sort of gripe from the very, very start of this film, well, not from the very start, but was the fact that the three gentlemen, well, the four gentlemen decide to go to Planet Zero without Sue.
Yeah, first
that
of
is
all,
a dick
rude.
move.
And also, like, they're getting in, and you're like, but who's pressing the button to send them?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Who's pressing the button to bring them back? Like, what was their plan?
Yeah, it was a really dick thing, and it was not thought well. Like, fools.
The whole thing about this movie was not thought well.
Yeah, that's true.
All of the motivations make no sense. And also the movie fundamentally misunderstands scientists. Like, the Victor Von Doom's whole thing is like, oh, no one remembers who sent Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin to the moon. Like, everybody just... Well, no, because it wasn't, like, a single person. It was, like, a whole
team.
Giant team of people built on generations of science by other people. That's why, like, no one person can really claim all the credit. That's how science works. It's not 4 fucking teenagers... and a bunch of money.
Exactly. Like, it's a very big dick-swinging episode, is this one. It's just basically like, no, we don't want to work with anyone because we came up with
We're special.
We're the smartest kids in the world.
Meh.
So no. Meh. Why would we send astronauts who are trained for this type of thing?
Yeah, exactly. Why would we follow strict ethical codes to make sure safety procedures are followed the whole way through?
Oh god, I did find that Reed Richards' sexy beard after a year was a nice touch. That's
the same kid who was in Ready Player One. I don't know if you noticed. And then, I mean, nobody's heard of Michael B. Jordan, right?
Who's that guy? Did you say that right? Is it Michael C. Jordan?
What's he done lately?
I mean, apart from be hella sexy.
My god.
Holy crap. I mean...
can we all just take a moment?
Let's just appreciate Michael B. Jordan with his shirt off in Black Panther. That is Oscar categories alone.
Not to mention Creed 1 and 2.
I have not seen his body in Creed, nor 1 nor 2.
Do a Google search just for yourself.
I will. We will post pictures for you guys. We'll make out your ogling easy for you.
Yeah, I mean, God knows, nothing else is gonna make this episode worthwhile.
Yeah, so we're gonna give you some eye candy. So I mean, what did you prefer the guy who plays Reed Richards in this more than Ready Player One, or? I
mean, he doesn't really have a personality in either, so to me, it's much of a muchness.
Yeah,
like,
I get you.
It's still some white dude who's, like, smart and thinks he knows better than everyone.
Yeah.
It's literally
I get you. That is literally it. I hate that interaction he has with Sue in the library. Oh man, what would you do? So okay, let's do some roleplay. Let's have some fun here.
Okay,
so, are you ready? All right.
Okay,
so I'll be
Reed Richards. The scene is I'm sitting at a library, minding my own fucking business, clearly studying with my earphones in. So
here we go.
Very approachable.
Very approachable. Here I come. Walking along with my books.
Okay.
This library is amazing. It's got everything. It's got this Captain Nemo book, and, it's amazing, and whatever.
Sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of the earphones that I clearly have in my ears, and the studying that I'm clearly doing.
What are you reading? What are you listening to?
Music.
So is that your thing?
Sorry,
is that your thing, music?
Music's everybody's thing.
I mean... Oh.
Fuck off.
Who does that? I think if... Unacceptable.
A word of advice to all the men out there, and ladies, if someone's in a library studying with earphones in, that means they probably don't want you to talk to them. Find another time.
Yeah, okay, here's the etiquette. Here you go, everyone. Here's the basic rules.
Okay.
No headphones. They are approachable and open to talking.
Not
One
even,
headphone.
though.
What,
You're in a library! Nobody goes to a library to meet people. I've never once gone to a library and been like, oh, I hope some cute guy starts talking to me while I'm trying to finish my calculus.
That is the only reason I go to libraries.
How's that working for you?
Well, clearly, I'm not single, got a ring on this finger. So, okay, fine. In my mind, no headphones, approachable. One headphone, semi-approachable, but approach with caution.
Yeah.
Two headphones,
Absolutely
leave them the
not.
fuck alone.
Especially if they take their headphone out to talk to you and then very distinctly put it right back in after they've answered your question.
That's the conversation. It's over. Come on now.
Later on, while he's talking to her about the fact that she's adopted, he's like, sometimes I wish I was an orphan, which is such a fucked up thing to say.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that? That is so
and
uncomfortable.
She's like, oh, haha. But you're like, what the fuck did you just say?
That is a horrible thing to say. That is an awful, awful thing to say. It's like, oh yeah, both my parents are dead. Sometimes I wish my parents were dead. Like, what?
I can't.
Unacceptable behavior. Holy crap.
So did you like anything about this movie?
No. It was really hard to get behind him. I watched it with my mum, and her commentary was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. When Planet Zero came on the screen, she was like, oh, I thought it said Planet Zerd, which would have made more sense. I was like, yeah, that's great, Ma. You're the best.
Oh, man, I'm trying to think. I think Victor Von Doom was kind of sexy. He always is supposed to be a bit, but also I have problematic taste in men.
Rudy's just sitting there like, oh, okay.
I think he would agree. I love him. He's great.
Yeah, okay. I kind of can get behind that. I think Sue was the only good character.
Even then, though, like, name one aspect of her personality, Chad.
She likes music. And she sees patterns and things.
Oh. I love also they bring her on to find Richard, because they're like, well, you need to find the pattern, as though no mathematician ever can find a pattern.
No, it's her and her music. She's the only one. She's a patternologist. That's what she does. I absolutely loved the last 5 minutes when they were discussing what their names should be. Literally, the last 5 minutes of the fucking film. And they're like, oh, what should we call ourselves? Oh, fucking bullshit, bullshit, mate, bullshit. And then Michael B. Jordan goes, oh, this place is fantastic. And he's like, oh, that's it. Fantastic. What if he had been like, this place is brilliant? Would they have called them the Brilliant Four?
It's such, like, a false start of a movie. Because you're like, oh, now, like, they're a team, now they're gonna do stuff. And then the movie ends, and you're like, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I want to ask you this. Can you explain Victor Von Doom's motivations, in that fight scene?
I would like to try. I think his motivation was he doesn't want the world to use Planet Zero, so he's going to destroy the world by sucking it into Planet Zero? Through what is essentially a cheese grater?
Your guess is as good as mine.
It wasn't clear at all. But that whole fight scene was a disaster. And to be fair, that is my scene that could have saved it. Is just a much better fight scene at the end there, because it just was atrocious. There was no reason for it.
What's happening?
What's happening? Why are they doing this?
Yeah.
And why is the whole scene like 10 minutes long? It's not even that big a fight scene.
Oh, can we talk about, like, he was talking about the Thing doing covert operations for the military, and you're like, in what world is anything about him covert?
Just this giant rock guy sneaking in.
Ooh, I wonder which country's
out.
Interests he's representing.
He might as well have just had, like, a cape that was the American flag. Only Americans would bring that in. Their lead military guy really got on my nerves a lot.
I mean, who didn't get on your nerves?
That's also true. That is also very true. So then, what was your scene that could have saved it?
Okay.
If there was a single one,
I want to change up the order. I want the movie to start, like when it's like a year later, I want the movie to start there, and then you get flashbacks to what happened, but you're still like trying to figure it out the whole time. Because like basically the first half was kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Like completely pointless. Cut out the first half. Start there. Victor Von Doom comes back. He has better plot motivations. He fights them. He, like, escapes off to, like, assemble an army or whatever the fuck Victor Von Doom does. They have time to train together with their powers, like the Power Rangers. Like, just...
Yeah.
But also there's a lot of friction because, like, they still hate each other because Richard, like, fucked off. And, all of that good stuff. And let us have more fight scenes. Let us, like, see them use their powers. The Thing was pretty well animated, as was the Human Torch, so, like, let us see more of that.
Yeah.
And that gives you more time to build some characters, so we actually care for the final battle.
Yeah,
which,
exactly, and make the final battle
the
better.
US military.
I would be behind that. That would be so much better. Yeah, I can get behind that. Yeah, that would actually be a much better movie. Maybe you should work for... Movie. That's true. Maybe you should work for Fox, because they
Fox,
clearly can't do
consulting.
anything. Oh, that'd be great. Could you imagine?
Looking for a job, you guys.
Guys. If you, hey, everyone who listens to this podcast, if you know anyone who works for Fox, who works for Marvel, who works for Disney, just holler.
Those
We're
are
ready.
all the same company now.
I know, it makes me sad. But yeah, so, okay, fair enough. Yeah. Well, then... Tell me about this director.
But what's
Who's
your
this
scene?
guy?
Oh, you said your scene that could have.
I've sort of mentioned it there. So tell me about this director, dude. What's his business? Why do we trust him to make films?
So his name is Josh Trank.
Mm-hmm.
He has not directed a ton of stuff, and his directing debut was in 2007. Okay. At which time you have not heard. Oh, it was a short, and then he directed a couple episodes of The Kill Point, which I haven't seen. His big one was he directed Chronicle in 2012.
It brings a thought to my mind. Like,
Chronicle was like a really big hit. It's like a found footage film about like kids who get superpowers.
Okay.
Yeah, so that did really well. It was like a shock hit, which I assume is why he got Fantastic Four, because it was also about like teens getting powers.
Yeah.
But in all fairness to him, he did not write this movie. So he just had to try to direct it and work with the script as best he could. So I don't think he's a bad director. I think he's a pretty good director who, oh man.
Just got some really bad luck with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Well, best of luck to him, and I hope this doesn't kill his career, because, I mean, Fantastic Four has always been a very sort of hard superhero film to do, because personally I think that the characters are very white bread. They're really hard to make anything of.
And because they're so serious, the whole thing's kind of a bit silly.
It is really silly. I mean, your lead guy, his main power is the ability to stretch well. But well done. Thank you for doing that film. I appreciate it. It's been an honor to watch it with you.
I don't know.
I felt good? I want to say good, but that's not right. Right, so, Simone, tell me, what are you excited for in the coming weeks? I think I know what you're going to talk about, but I want to hear it from your mouth.
So, everybody who listens to the podcast knows that we're big fans of the Conjuring series.
What? You and me.
And a new Annabelle Comes Home is coming out, and I think... the trailer makes it look like it's going to be like the Avengers Infinity War of the Conjuring universe.
Yeah, it's going to be so good. And I was actually just about to make a joke about that. I was going to say, do you think this fits in with the Spider-Man universe? So you've got you got Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, Annabelle Comes Home, Annabelle Homecoming.
Honestly, if Tom Holland's in it, I will be so thrilled.
That would be amazing.
I love him.
I love him.
How could you not?
Beautiful. He's so stunning. So yes, I thought you were going to mention that, and in case you weren't going to mention it, I was going to make it a notable mention, because I'm so excited.
I mean, thrilled.
James Wan, again, coming back into our lives.
Beautiful bastard, James.
How dare you make such perfect horror movies.
Stop it. Don't ever
Stop doing it. Okay, so from my side, I think it's gonna do terribly, and I mean, like, I don't even have to say why. You'll know as soon as I say the name. Godzilla 2. Can we just
We keep trying to make these movies. I will say, look, I liked Kong, the latest one. It was surprisingly good. But also, it had so much star power behind it. It had, like, Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston and, like, just a host of great characters. And it starred Tom Hiddleston's tanned forearms. It was great. It was actually a really surprisingly good movie, Kong.
Right, fair enough. But
so, I'm always cautiously optimistic with Godzilla. I haven't seen the first one.
I'm just so tired of them. I'm just so tired.
It's not for us, though. Physically. It's for Chinese audiences.
It's... I know. It literally is. That's where the money is nowadays, but that's why they keep making Transformers films.
God.
Because they do so well over there. But I'm exhausted now. Can we just stop?
Even me, I'm tired.
And we're optimistic people usually. I mean, we're both really sorry that this week has been a bit of a downer on everyone.
There's a bit more podcast fodder for us to watch.
Yeah, exactly. So it's gonna have some benefits somehow in the long run. So yeah, look, we've done it again. Somehow we got through this week.
We did it.
Jesus,
this is a tough week.
This was a really, really tough week. Just not alone from the movies, but just in our lives. Yeah. It's been a really, really tough week. So, tell us, Simone, what are you doing next week?
I'm going to do the Peter Pan remake that nobody asked for, and nobody saw, which is Pan.
I had never even heard of it.
It's
Pan,
got Hugh Jackman in it as Captain Hook.
Okay.
It
interesting.
Features a very white tiger lily.
Oh.
And... it did not do well. There was a ton of hype around it before it came out, and then, like, nothing.
It just failed. Fair enough.
But I'm always ready to give Hugh Jackman a chance.
Always. I mean, have you seen Greatest Showman? I mean, I hate P.T. Barnum, but...
yeah, no, let's ignore the actual P.T. Barnum.
Yeah, but give me a singing Hugh Jackman. Fucking take it any day of the week.
Pure delight. You know, some people hated The Greatest Showman. They said it was, like, contrived and, like... tried too hard. And I was like, okay,
how dare
sorry
they?
That you hate joy.
Yeah, like, that is a film of pure whimsy. How dare you?
I showed it to my friend Raquel, friend of the podcast, who also, she was a guest early on. Hi, Raquel.
Love Raquel.
And she, like, sobbed the whole time. Granted, she was really drunk, but, like, sobbing.
That's so lovely.
The whole movie.
That's so nice.
What movie are you doing next week? I'm excited.
You won't be, but I saw it and I was like, yeah, I loved this movie as a kid. It's not going to hold up, but let's do it anyway. Bulletproof Monk.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's Jet Li.
Okay.
And one of the guys from Dumber and Dumber and Dukes of Hazzard, the newer one.
Okay.
It's a cute film. It's got Nazis in it. Mm-hmm. It's exciting. It's exciting. Bulletproof Monk. I feel that.
Why not?
So get ready, everyone. This is going to be a weird week coming up. You got Pan, and you got monks, and you got Nazis. So be prepared.
Amazing. I'm ready.
Yeah.
My body's ready.
So how are you, Simone? How was your week?
I'm good. I'm good. Yesterday we turned our broom closet in the kitchen into shelves, so now it's a pantry.
Oh.
And I say we, but really Rudy did it.
Fair. Did you
which
supervise?
Is for the best. No, I just left him to it. I was like, I'm here to help if you need me, but I don't want to get in your way.
That's nice. That's lovely.
So we've got so much more space in our kitchen now, and I'm just so boringly grown-up happy about it.
Yeah, you know what? It's those little exciting details that keep you alive. Mm. So you know what? You're living your best life. You put up shelves.
I think so.
I'm proud of you. That's awesome.
I'm very happy. How was your week?
It was good until yesterday when I got food poisoning, which had me down and out. I hate food poisoning. It is one of the worst things that can happen to another human being, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But I slept all day. I watched a bit of Rick and Morty just to try and, resuscitate myself. and feeling a hell of a lot better today.
Okay, good. And, you got them electrolytes.
I got all them electrolytes back in me. All I ate yesterday was a piece of cake and a quarter of an apple and a McDonald's milkshake.
That's a lot of sugar.
Yeah, I think it helped. I don't know why, but hey, it worked for my body.
Maybe get some protein in today.
I should. I think I will. I'll go have I'll go have a protein shake.
Good.
Just get all that delicious protein that one needs. So yeah, okay. Well, look at us. We did it again, Simone.
We've done it.
Triumphant as always. So where can the people find you?
The people can find me on Instagram at simone.ellie.rux, and they can follow the podcast at It's Not That Bad 1 on Twitter and Facebook, and at It's Not That Bad Podcast on Instagram. And they can email us at itsnotthatbadpodcast@gmail.com. Where can they find you?
Where can they find you? They can find me on Instagram and Twitter at chatspeed1993, and you can also find me on Forge and Flint, where you can see all of our exciting articles and short stories and poetry. And that's where you can find me. Please write to us. We really appreciate all your feedback and everything. And like, subscribe, rate us, give us a review. I mean, I think what's frustrating is that we both won't be able to see American reviews because they only show us the reviews from our own country. Like, so I can't see any of the reviews that you have in South Africa, and you can't see any of the reviews that I have in England. And so neither of us can see the Korean or the American ones. So we could have lovely reviews, and we would never know. We would never know.
But rate and review us anyway. We'll feel it in our souls.
Do it.
You can also rate and review us on Facebook or on Facebook or on our Podbean or any of your podcasting apps that you use.
Yeah, exactly. And it just helps get the message out. With the amount of crazy shit that's going on in the world right now, everyone needs a little bit of happiness, a little bit of optimism, and that's what we're trying to bring. As we say every week, we love you and there's nothing you can do about it.
We love you and there's nothing you can do about it. Bye!
Goodbye!